What is
Alphabet soup.
You never had alphabet
It must
soup?
be like some of the most Aussie
That's
shit
Aussie
ever.
as shit.
It's
fucking
it's
Greek,
like
bro. We
soup
had
with like
fucking-
some form of like carb or something with, and they're letters of the alphabet, and you
I think I
you
did.
eat them in alphabetical order.
That's
That
fucking.
shit was off
That's
his head,
Aussie.
actually. I think
That
I
would
had
have to be 30 years plus.
Yeah.
I only had that when I was doing like play dates with my Aussie mates.
Play dates with Mars.
The Macca's birthday parties.
Oh. All right, let's do it.
We doing?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Oh, why am I starting with all right, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the HUSLA podcast. Today, we're sitting down with Jim, a great mentor,
Yes.
bit of a father as well for me as well. Gym owner, bodybuilder, and one of the facilitators of the HUSLA workspace for a period of time when we used to run our group sessions
Yes,
too.
that's right.
Jim, I'll let you introduce yourself.
So it's Jim Kotantonis, a NABA pro. Been competing since I was 23, I think. So I've done about 55 shows.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
I've won 32 or 33 shows.
My God.
Yeah, on and off over 30 years. I've had a bit of breaks here and there. Just fun. Just love competing. So I've had breaks between shows.
Yeah.
And if I feel good, I'll do another show. So
That's on the cards, right?
huh?
That's on the cards.
If I'm healthy enough and I'll get rid of some of these injuries,
Shoulder.
yeah, shoulder, knees, I'll get.
Yeah.
I'd love to do another one, another pro show, and then call it quits.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So you're a bodybuilder, you're a gym owner,
Gym owner,
you're a father,
yep, and a supplement company now.
supplement company as well. Yes,
Yes, and
that's going well.
and soccer enthusiast,
Yeah. Car enthusiast.
car enthusiast.
Oh, yeah.
Who isn't? Expensive hobbies,
Yeah.
all
Oh,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but fun.
But fun, yeah. So, just my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where was it
I live-
born?
Huh?
Where was the passion born?
Yeah, I tell you what, it was when I saw the 1980 Mr. Olympia with Arnold. I think it was on the news, but it was on Worldwide Sports.
Mm.
It was a TV show that used to be on Saturday mornings. I think Saturday lunchtimes. And once I saw Arnold on stage, I said, "That's me." I said, "Fuck, I want to do that."
Wow.
I think, and that was 98. So I was 10 years old when I saw that, and that just stuck with my mind all those years.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was at the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
And it was televised on TV here.
Yeah.
And that just got me hooked.
When did you start lifting?
Probably, I did martial arts since I was about, let's say, 10, 9, 10. And I continued on to do martial arts into my early 20s, but I stopped because I broke my ankle. But I joined the gym on and off, I'd say, in my early 20s, so 21, I think. And what happened then? So I broke my ankle playing soccer, and it was just full-time gym after that.
Yeah.
And I got hooked because I put 10 kilos on within 2 months. And because I wasn't playing soccer, so I wasn't playing soccer 3 times a week. I wasn't doing martial arts 3 times a week. All I was doing was weight training because there was no physios back in the day. So all I did was just go to the gym just to try and keep fit. And so I wasn't expending all those calories, but I just put on. I remember being, I think, 67. 2 months before my 21st birthday, I was 78 or 79.
Far out.
That's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah,
wild.
I remember. I remember benching 2 plates for 8 reps. And everyone saying, "How long have you been training?" I said, "I think about 2 months."
100
kilo
It took
bench.
me like 8 years
Yeah.
to do that.
No, but I think people don't realise that I was doing martial arts for like 15 years.
Yeah.
So I used to do 300 push-ups a night
Yeah.
and a couple hundred sit-ups every night. So I had that foundation, and it just took off because it was just came so easily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you've always been strong.
Yeah.
Always been very strong.
And squatting was strong, and my deadlifts were just ridiculous. My very first deadlift, I think, was 180 by 6.
Yeah. It's wild.
That was my last ever deadlift.
That's my PB. That's my PB.
No cheetah stance either.
And I remember Barry Murray saying, "Fuck being a bodybuilder. Do deadlift. You're going to be a powerlifter." Because I've never seen it before.
Can
You
you,
sure
t-
you've never deadlifted before? I said, no, this is my very first deadlift.
can you? This is like ahead of time, but I know the story. Can you tell us about when you couldn't tie your shoes for 2 years?
Oh, well, yeah. So that was I got a 364.5 kilo deadlift,
Far out.
and I ruptured my back because we had no one to teach us how to deadlift. Really, it was just you guys have cameras, all this help, but it was just brute strength. And I remember I strained my back and I called Louis Simmons. I ruptured my back and I called Louis Simmons. I said, I've done my back, and I said I need a reverse hover bench, and he goes, yes, I've heard about you. He goes, all brute, no technique. That's what he said to me over the phone. I wasn't going to argue with him. I said, I need to buy a reverse hopper. And what he said to me was, he goes, why don't you come here? I'll fix your back. And I said, well, I can't really go there because I got a bit of a criminal record. He goes, that's okay. We've all got criminal records here. So, no, I can't get into the country. So I can't go anywhere. He goes, so I bought the reverse hopper bench off him, started doing rehab at home.
Yeah.
And and then I really wasn't deadlifting after that. It just scared me mentally for a while. I think 10 years later I started doing deadlifts again, and then I think in 5 weeks I was doing 280, 290 5x5s. So it comes very fast deadlifting.
So
I say that would be my most natural lift.
Yep.
So that was a 2-year period between rupturing your back.
Yeah.
Not being able to tie your shoes for 2 years, and then you got back into it.
Yeah, you got back into it, yeah.
You said something before as well about, I guess it's different now to how it was back then.
There was no physios. It was just, no one really had much experience helping people like us train.
Training at the extremes.
Yeah, it was just to take time off. We know that was the worst case. I remember speaking to Andrew Locke years later, may he rest in peace. He said, also my best man had said the same thing. I should have just done deadlifted the bar and squatted with a bar just every day for 2 years, and that would have been the best thing I could have done. Instead, I just neglected it because that's what physios were telling me at the time.
Yeah.
Don't do anything.
Too conservative.
Too conservative.
Avoid, yeah.
Yeah, so you just drop everything. And as you get older, obviously, once you lose that skill set, it's very hard to get it back. You lose mobility. It's like you have to relearn all those lifts.
Yeah.
You lose all the connection.
What else have you noticed has changed over, I guess, the 30-odd years?
I think that, okay, look, there's a lot you learn from YouTube, TikTok, and all these things, but from all these media influencers. But sadly, the most boring stuff is the stuff that people don't want to do, and that's just the basics, because it's just boring. But really, they're the ones that are the most producing movements. Everyone's looking for an exercise or a machine, but we can't beat those meat and potato exercises.
Like what?
Like you just forget all the fluff. I'll call fluff machine exercises, cable exercises. So your bench presses, your bent over rows, your deadlifts, squats, variations of squats, front squats, back squats, circus squats, standing military presses. Even as a natural, I still did military presses with 220 pounds for 10 to 14 reps.
Yeah, it's 100 kilos.
But in the gym these days, you won't even get to see people that are enhanced doing any of those lifts.
Yeah.
And they don't have that thickness.
Yeah.
They have a lot of fake weight, which is what I call that gear weight. It's not real weight.
There's something that I feel, I mean, you might agree with me here, but there's something I feel that we lost over the years as well. I'm 29, so, I didn't get to, I guess, live the years that you did, but, the shift over the last, 15 years that I've been training, we've lost can I say the C word?
Yeah.
We've lost the go, if that makes sense. Like all the new stuff, all the evidence, all this, all that, like we love it. We're all about it. I love all the new shit. Again, the basics work, but at the same time, you got to come into the gym and be ferocious and like, you feel
everyone's
a
too
little,
scared to go heavy.
You feel a little something, let's go, you know what I mean? Like push a little bit, don't push through like bad pains and stuff. have your
Yeah.
team around you, see a good physio, myo, whatever, do all that stuff. But at the same time, you got to come in like ferocious. You know?
Yeah, you have to set. You have to get strong. I've never seen anyone that benches 5 plates has a weak chest or a weak triceps. So, but these days there's not enough foundation with all the younger guys, and they'll just move to all the easy stuff because they've grabbed that from all the social media, all the TikTok reels that are going on. Because the heavy stuff is boring. No one wants to spend years trying to get to a 5-plate squat.
Yeah. It can be uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff, and it's
It's hard.
jump
It's
on a
hard.
machine and
It's
It's
hard
obviously
mentally going
yeah,
from, let's
yeah, I
say,
know.
450 pounds. Next week, you've got to go, 460, 470. That weight is breaking your back. It's mentally tough. I used to have nightmares before my squat sessions and deadlift sessions.
Really? Holy shit.
Think, what if there's no one there to spot me?
Go watch the Louis Simmons Netflix documentary. That'll show you some hardcore shit. Not you, I know you've seen it, but that's some hardcore shit. That's the kind of shit that you need just 15% of. You know what I mean? Just 15% of that.
But you just got to have that drive. I remember I trained with one of the world's strongest men. His name was Carl DeKempo. About my height, about 5'5", 120 kilos. I remember him doing a clean standing dumbbell press with 135 pounds dumbbells.
Oh,
jeez.
And it was just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. There's no backswing. You just lifted them up, bang, bang, bang. And I thought, what the fuck?
wow.
And not one word would come out of his mouth. And then the next day he would be squatting 685 for sets of 8, and you wouldn't even know he's squatting behind you. There was no noise.
God.
There was nothing. If you didn't know there was someone squatting, you wouldn't know he was there.
What a machine.
No noise, no nothing.
Yeah. So you've done a bunch of international stuff as well, right?
Yeah,
That's why the pounds keep coming out.
yeah. So so about 35 shows plus internationally, more I think.
Wow.
And but you learn a lot. Competing overseas is good though, because when you meet international competitors, there's a bond. When you bump into each other overseas, you might not know the language. They might not, but you're shopping together in a supermarket. You'll see each other. There's
Brothers in iron, mate.
brothers in iron. Yes, they've travelled the same path. They know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah.
Everyone's helping each other backstage. I don't think that happens for the ladies. The ladies are very competitive. The guys are lovely though. You'll make friends for life when you compete at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stay with you for years. Yeah, they still talk to me now.
Yeah. Similar with powerlifting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was
because,
life?
because it takes you 20 years to get there. So no one understands that journey. If you've got someone who's done it with you, there's just a lot of mutual respect because they know how hard it is to get there.
Yeah.
So what was it like back then? Like what was I guess, obviously now you're a gym owner and all that. Back then you were probably just, that was your sole focus. What was your week? What did it look like?
Oh, look, I would say the hardest thing is, when you're by yourself overseas competing, you think, why the hell am I doing this? And all it will take, I remember being in Spain for my very first Mr. World, and I got lost going to the supermarket because I had no idea. There's no internet, there's no maps.
There wasn't much English in Spain either.
No, not back in 98, 99.
Wow.
I had this young girl. She looked at me. I said, Marqueta. She goes, sí, señor. She just grabs my hand. She takes me into the market. I thought, okay, I'm good. I've kind of worked out what the food is because I couldn't understand the writing on the food. But I was like, this looks like bloody chicken. It must be chicken. What else could it be? It's either pork or turkey or chicken. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll eat it. I'm hungry, bloody hungry. I come out and she's there waiting for me. She was walking me back to my apartment. And I thought, yeah, you know what? That's why I'm doing this. Because it was just the smallest little compliment and it just pushed me to keep on going.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a lonely road and all it takes is sometimes a small little compliment from people around you and then you just keep on going. But it's a hard journey.
Yeah.
What was your first show like?
Very nerve-wracking. That was the Mr. Melbourne in 1993. I was probably the smallest competitor but I was natural competing in NABBA from my very first few shows. And I had no idea that everyone else was doing what they were doing. I was the smallest, but I was the leanest. And I was wondering why everyone's so big. I had no idea until they pulled me up afterwards and go, yeah, you're using something. I said, and my attitude was, so I have to jump on something? I can't get bigger. And they said, no, well, you're not going to go far unless you do the same thing they're doing. So that was when it changed. So my very first show, I think I was 74 kilos or 73 and a half on the day.
That's still very like solid for
Solid,
5 foot.
Yeah.
Five foot
You know
six.
what? I was all upper body. Yeah. My legs had withered away from doing tons of cardio because I didn't know any better. And then 20 years later, I'm competing at 20 plus kilos heavier.
Far out.
Like at 97 or 101.
Wow.
How many years later did you say?
About 20.
20 years later.
Wow.
But I knew I was in. That's the thing. I knew I was in for the long haul. These days, everyone's just trying to rush to grow. They want to become a pro within 2 years. And I knew as soon as I saw a couple of guys that were really huge, I thought I'd ask a couple of people that were close to me, and they go, "What's it take to be that big?" I go, "Well, it's 10, 15 years work, Jim." I said, "If you gain a kilo a year, then that's what you get to look like in 20 years." And so I never rushed it. So I just...
Smart.
That's some incredible patience too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but you got to do it because you love it,
Yeah.
I think, because remember this, bodybuilding was, and powerlifting was very underground. Back when we first started, there was only a handful of magazines. There was Powerlifting USA magazine. There was a couple of bodybuilding magazines. You were walking down the street as a bodybuilder, everyone just thought you were a freak. But these days, everyone's doing it for a social media pick.
It's more mainstream now, for sure.
And we didn't care if we got fat and ugly. We just wanted to be big.
Yeah.
These days, everyone's trying to do a lean bulk. They want their abs. They want to look pretty. We didn't care. We just wanted to be... We just wanted to squat 6 plates. We just wanted to bench 5 plates. We didn't care what we ate.
Just
as long as
ruthless.
we got strong. As long as we got strong.
Yeah.
If you're ugly, who cares?
Yeah.
Have you adapted your training approach much from what you knew then versus what you know now? Like, have you ever been resistive to, I guess, new information coming through, new training techniques?
Or... I've always kind of done as much research as I could, rather than relying on drugs. The attitude these days with young kids is they'll ask you about bodybuilding drugs rather than asking you about nutrition.
Yeah.
The bigger guys that I was around 20 years ago, I've never once asked them what they used. Never. All I asked them is what are you training and what are you eating? Because everyone was pretty much doing the same thing. So I figured, well, clearly it's got to be how much food they're eating and how they're training. What else could it be? But the attitude with this younger generation is no, it's got to be drugs. And that's the wrong attitude, because the physique that some of these guys want to achieve, they could have done it naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to be the biggest fucker I could be. I just couldn't care. So I knew it was going to take a lot of food. But I can't tell you how many kids I come into the gym, and the first thing they ask me is, what should I take? I said, how about you ask me how much food you should be eating? And they're not growing. And I say, well, what did you eat this week? And they're hardly eating. So
Couple of ABC spaghettis.
Yeah, ABC's alphabet soup, but alphabet soup.
but they're not consistent. And I tell these kids, food is the biggest anabolic. And if if you're young and you've got a very fast metabolism, then you just got to slow it down.
Yeah.
Don't train 5-6 times a week. Train 3 times a week. Yeah, I did what Dorian Yates did. You remember he would have started 2-3 times a week, more like a whole body routine. That's what I did. I did abbreviated training because I was also studying at the same time. So all I wanted to do is because I was burning it off because I was also still playing soccer a little bit, still doing a bit of martial arts. So I couldn't put the weight on. So I thought, I can't eat 6,000 calories. That takes time to build up to those kind of calories. So for me, all I thought was if I conserve calories rather than stand or sit and then I'll just slowly build up my calories. And then when I got to my heaviest, I was about 113, 114. And then I remember I couldn't gain any more weight, so I started having an extra pizza every evening. And then I couldn't gain any further weight, so I started putting oil on top of my pizza.
Oh
This
my
is the
god!
shit.
I wish.
This is the best.
Wow.
And then my mates would come and pick me up and say, let's go out for a few drinks. And by the time I'd walk out of the house, I'd be throwing up. So I'd go back in and I'd make a shake and I'd bring it with me. And they were drinking Scotch bourbon in the cars. They're driving to the venue. I'm having my protein shake. and there's they're drinking upstairs. I'm going down and have a couple of hot dogs that are
Wow.
outside. So I just ate as much as I could. I couldn't care less about how pretty I was.
Would you do the same now?
No, I think you got to do that. I think when you're younger, you got to break through plateaus because as you get heavier, your leverage improves. And when your leverage improves, squatting becomes better. I'm not sure about deadlifting. When I got heavier, my deadlifts got suffered a little bit. But everything else, benching, all my compound movements went up. So I think that's important because you develop that tendon strength and all those muscles, surrounding muscles. And then as you start dieting, you really got to keep that strength there. And I think getting heavy at least once or twice in your career is very important, just so you can get to move some serious weight, and that will build some thickness and a decent base.
So
And then hold it for a little bit, and then start coming down.
Yeah.
What everyone starts doing these days, they get to a certain weight, and immediately they want to start coming down. No, you can't. You got to hold that for a little bit, make that normal, and then come down slowly.
Yeah.
You know.
So from peak,
I think everyone these days tries to do a lean bulk. They try and grow too slowly. I think it's probably smarter as you get older, but when you're young, you can get away with it. You're carb sensitive. You tend to burn a lot more calories doing nothing. So you really got to force the food in. And not everyone can eat clean. So sometimes you got to get out of shape to get in shape. Yeah.
from peak bulk to stage weight, how much were you losing?
About 20.
So
So
pound or kilo?
kilo.
And how long? How long are you preps on average?
I know people these days do a 20-week cut,
Yeah.
16-week cut. We did it in about 8 weeks, 10 weeks.
Wow.
So you're losing 2 kilos a week.
Were you like a ghost like when you were 2-3 weeks out, or were you all right?
No, it's always pretty good.
Yeah, that's my
I
understanding.
always used to have red meat always into a show because it kept me fuller and it kept me strong. So I remember working up to about 2 kilos of red meat a day.
Well,
And
I guess the iron as well, like just to help you with feeling fatigued and stuff. If
Yeah.
you're eating, your white meats, you just don't get the iron. So you would have felt
2 kilos.
it's good that
2
you get.
kilos is
Yeah, I
like,
know.
It's
Yeah.
like 400 grams of protein on its own.
Oh, it's
Like, without
ridiculous.
any
Yeah,
other
ridiculous.
macronutrient or
Yeah,
any other
so,
resource.
But
Wow.
and red meat was pretty cheap back then. You couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
But now it's
2
difficult
kilos.
to eat a lot of food. It's
Yeah.
actually very difficult to eat a lot of food.
And,
it's quite
um,
expensive.
Mm.
But I had to force it in. I did very little cardio, to be honest with you. I just simply relied on what I used to do. I used to do one compound lift, and then I did a lot of fluff work. I did a lot of supersets. So my first movement was always to keep my strength, and I'd call that feeding the ego, and the rest was just supersetting. So once I've done the heavy lift, if I could bench press, let's say 4 plates for 8 to 10 reps, then for me that meant I was still strong. So it didn't bother me. I could go hard on the other supersets, and I didn't have to worry about weight because I've just fed the ego.
How many sets of bench press would you do, for example? Like your top main compound, would you do like 1, 2, 3?
I'd probably do one working set, then I'll do a back off set.
Yes, not much.
Not
Not
much.
much.
But then I might do 3 movements as a tricep, and I might do, let's say, 12 sets there with 1 minute rest. So I try and get the best of both worlds, yeah? So some metabolic damage, some sarcoplasm work. And I think that I got the best of both worlds that way. Because everyone else would be shrinking into a show, and I used to get bigger into a show.
So your strength maintained from peak bulk to show.
Sometimes it went up.
Wow.
It's wild.
And a 20 kilo drop as well.
Yeah.
In 8 weeks.
Yeah, in 8 weeks. That's
Yeah.
unreal.
I've done one in 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
Jesus.
I remember I was in Vanuatu for a honeymoon.
last minute.
That was in 2010. And I got a call from Graham Lansfield. He couldn't reach me when I was on the P&O Fairstar. But once I landed in Vanuatu, I get a message and I call him back. He goes, do you want to do the New Zealand Grand Prix? I said, when's that? He goes, it's about 10 days. I said, I went to Vanuatu. He goes, what the fuck are you doing in Vanuatu? I said, I'm here for a honeymoon. He goes, how you looking? I said, oh, I'm pretty ripped.
Ready to go.
Because when are you getting back? I said, in about a week. He goes, well, you're going to jump on a plane from Brisbane. You're gonna meet us in New Zealand. And he goes, we'll give you a pair of posing trunks. If you win that show, you qualify for the Worlds.
Wow.
I said, okay. So I wasn't training. I was on a P&O Festa for 2 weeks. I landed in Brisbane. I rolled up had a flight straight to New Zealand. And I rolled up to the show. And I had one training session the night before. And I won the show.
Wow.
And people go, so I was in good shape. I was probably about 5%, to be honest with you. And people go, and then 4 weeks later, I came second to Mr. World.
Wow.
And people go, oh, you couldn't have been natural then. I said, well, yeah, have a look at the before and after. So they have a photo of me wearing, I can show you a photo. There's a photo of me when I competed in New Zealand. And 4 weeks later, I'm about 6 kilos heavier and about 1.9 by skin calipers. So I dropped about 4% and gained about 4 kilos
Wow.
in 4 weeks. And people go, okay, now we know you're gearing. and I won that show.
Yeah.
And then I went to the World Championships and I came second at the World Championships that year. And that was a 4-week prep.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's insane.
When was your first win?
Yeah.
When was your first
World?
My first at the Worlds, or
Yeah, at the Worlds,
locally. My first win, I had 7 attempts, so I won the Mr. World in 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How was it?
It was pretty good. I tell you what, they're very good. Unlike local shows here, when you go to the World Championships, you might get 30, 40 competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, they've won in their country to get there.
Yeah.
So the standard's pretty high. When you look in our federation, you have the morning show, and if you make the top 6, they'll call you for the evening show.
Wow.
Because otherwise it just takes too long for the evening show. And when I looked at everyone stripping down, I thought, fuck, they're all good. I thought, I'm not going to make top 10. And everyone's coming up to me and they go, Jim, I think you're going to win it. I said, no chance. Look at everyone. Everyone's peeled. Because you can't see how good you're looking. Yeah. And when you see everyone they're bending over, they've got striations in their hamstrings, their lower back is peeled. Yeah, fuck, I think I'm going to be last. And they come up to me and they go, you got to come in back for the evening show. I said, really? Anyway, so the evening show comes, you do your routine, they come up to you, and so we're all up, the top 6 are up on stage, and they announced the 6th person. I thought, okay, so I'm not 6th, I must be 5th. Then they announced the 5th person. I thought, fuck, I must be 4th. Then they announced a 4th person. I thought, fuck, I've got to be a 3rd. Then they announced a 2nd person, and that's me. I was, damn it, I could have won it. But you really don't know how good you are. Yeah. And when you're that lean, you actually feel small. And when you see them, you think, there's no way I look that good. But when you look back in photos, you think, yeah, shit, I was actually bigger than them. But when you're that lean, even pros, even Ronnie would have felt small at 280 compared to 330. So
you probably need that mentality as well, though. That's probably what keeps you going too, yeah?
It does.
Thinking like, if you got there and you were like, I'm all right, I'm bigger than these guys, I look better than these guys, then your next show, you're not going to push as hard. But when you know that you've got, you finishing second, drives you.
Yeah,
You know, like that,
I
being
agree.
so close,
You got to be a
especially.
little bit mentally
Yeah. Yeah.
because I tell you why, because you're never really content.
Yeah.
And I used to argue the point with a lot of people. Am I better off than that fat lady who couldn't care less about how she looks, or me who's never happy even though I might be? I remember I used to strip down and all my mates would look at me and go, man, I've never seen anything like it. Every time you move, your glutes are feathering, your quads are feathering, you bend over, you see all your rods in your lower back. And I thought, you know what? I wear clothes and no one knows I look this good. And you're never happy. So, but compared to everyone else, you're a freak.
Yeah.
Is that better because you're never truly happy? Or is the person who weighs 150 kilos who's oblivious to how they look and they're just happy?
Yeah.
So, but again, that's what drives us. If it wasn't for that, then there was no incentive for you to push harder.
Yeah. How are your friends? Like your obviously like you said, your mates weren't really in the same kind of field as you. They weren't, you know, competing for Mr. World. The shit that you would have had to do would have been extreme, like you said, taking shakes out when you're going out for drinks and stuff. How was it? Was it hard for them? Like, did they support you? Was it easy? Were they?
No, they kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Because it got to the stage where I'd go out to a wedding and everyone knew, like, oh, yeah, we've got Jim coming, so he'll need a knife fillet.
Yeah.
He'll need a salad.
2 kilos of it too.
And if they didn't have that, I had food in the car just to be ready.
Yeah.
But everyone got used to the fact that I'd have to have my own food.
Yeah.
And it didn't really bother me because I felt it was my journey.
Yeah.
And no one else should suffer. So if my mates wanted to eat whatever they were, I never gave them grief about it.
Yeah.
They would actually try and eat better in front of me. I know, and most of the time they wouldn't eat well when I'm not there. But in front of me, they'll try and eat clean. But it didn't really bother me because I thought, no one's put a gun to my head to do this. Why should I put pressure on anyone else?
Of course.
It's my journey.
Yeah.
So if they don't want to do it, it's their choice,
Yeah.
you know?
That's good though. It sounds like they actually they were supportive of it. You know. So
But again, we do it because we choose to do it.
Yeah.
So why should you be a pain in the butt to everyone else?
Yeah, correct.
So it never bothered me. I thought, I choose to do this.
Yeah.
I like doing this. And I think I was lucky in that I always got results pretty fast. I understand people who don't get results and they just give up straight away. But I think results are the most important thing, especially initially with most people. If you get your clients getting results somewhat pretty fast, they'll keep them motivated. For me, it was always about I was always a very good responder, so I just kept on going. So the results for me just kept me going, and I didn't care what anyone else was doing. It really didn't bother me.
What were some setbacks along the way?
It was always injuries. Like 2005, I tore my quad. I got stuck underneath a leg press. It didn't have catches, and I think I had 26 plates on, and
26 plates.
yeah, and I got a cramp,
Oh.
and it collapsed, and there was no one. There was only one guy, Big Sam. Apparently, he saw me from the other side of the gym. I started screaming. The weight had come down. My quad had gone. There was nothing holding the weight up, and then my calf went as well because that was the only thing keeping the weight up, and everyone was just throwing plates off.
It's half a ton.
yeah.
So over half a ton of plates.
Yeah. And I ended up competing at the Mr. Australia 4 weeks later than the Mr. World. But I couldn't even walk, couldn't do cardio. I remember 2 weeks out, I had to present a trophy at a show. I couldn't even walk up the stairs. And I remember Nick James going, how are you going to compete in 2 weeks? I said, I don't care. I've come this far. I'm still going to bloody do the show. And by the time 6 weeks had come past, I'd atrophied a lot in the legs. And I think I had a bad experience in Brazil as well. I'd missed a flight, a lot of stress. So I smoothed out a little bit, so I got a 6th place there. But the way I was looking 2-3 weeks out before the show, I reckon I could have had that show.
Wow.
But I still kept on going. So I don't pull out. It takes a lot for me to pull out of a show. You've come that far.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to let it go.
Yeah.
It's a level of discipline and resilience that I think
Yeah.
is, even then and probably even more so now, is very hard to come by.
Well, Don Yates did the same thing, didn't he? He tore his bicep, still competed, could have pulled out, but then he would have lost that Olympia that year because someone else would have won it. You've come that far, you might as well see how far you can go.
Yeah, I mean, unless you need like a surgery or something, then I guess I might be looking at it one-dimensionally here, but, you know, you'd pull out of the show because why? Like maybe you're worried about placing poorly. Like if you don't mind, if you don't care about that, which is, I think, a strength. It doesn't matter how you place and what other people think of you.
Well, you think, what else can I do? You know, so you got to minimize the damage. I was doing isometric holds. I thought, well, I could do more hammy work. I could do more calf work. But all that stress with that injury obviously affects your condition a little bit. You start smoothing out a little bit. You start second guessing yourself. So, but because you're always looking so good, I honestly thought I could have kept some of that condition. So you learn a lot. If I look back, I probably wouldn't have done that show, and I probably would have saved it. You know.
So 26 plates. How many reps are you going for?
15 to 20.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's not even just like a true ego lift.
No, you like you
15
could be
to
going
20
heavier,
reps.
15 to 20.
Now, on leg press, I always go much. I love doing more reps on the leg presses.
You love reps. Absolutely love
On squats, I think a squatting pattern, you know, you can go low 6 to 8 reps. But with leg presses, I think there's always more reps. I know Tom Platz always talks about it, but with leg presses, there's always more reps. And I think with anything less than 10 reps, it becomes pretty much dangerous on the leg press because once you've had the injury that I had, it stays with you for life. If you get stuck into that, it's just scary.
Well, I mean, where can you go from there? Doing 15, would you say 15 to 20 reps?
Yeah.
15 to 20 reps with half a ton. What are you going to do? Put 800 kilos on it for 5 or 6?
There's just too many things we can go wrong, you know what I mean?
And your joints, connective tissue, they're all taking all of that load.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and look, even if you have a spotter, if you've got that much weight on,
no, there's nothing.
Mate,
they can
still
do
no.
about
It's if you get like flattened, you're finished. Yeah.
So there was no protector on the leg press.
No, there wasn't. So they got rid of that leg press that week.
Makes sense.
But
What leg press was it?
I can't remember the brand, but it didn't have the catches on.
Wow.
And it was a very smooth leg press, but dangerous.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that went that heavy on the leg press.
Yeah, probably.
And,
So biggest setbacks were injuries for you?
injuries always.
Obviously, I guess, I don't know, maybe times have changed a bit. Maybe people train a bit differently now. But what would you say, young bodybuilders, aspiring bodybuilders, biggest piece of advice from your time as a bodybuilder? If you could pass one message on to the new generation.
You got to spend enough time growing in the off season. I think the trend these days is everyone goes hard for the last 16 weeks, 16, 20 weeks, and the off season they've done nothing. You know what I mean? But you're not growing in your contest prep.
Yep.
So they're not growing enough in their off season, and I think they're just scared to really push the weight. I think you build that density going hard, going heavy. And I think you've got to and I think a lot of people also switch to a lighter weight, and I think that's the fastest way to lose that thickness that you have. And I think that was always my attitude. I'd always go choose one movement because I always went on low carbs, so I was always strong for the first movement, and after that I didn't care how much weight I used because I've already fed my ego. If you can still bench press, let's say 4 plates for 8 to 10 reps. You've dropped 3-4 kilos and you can still do that the next week on less food. Have you lost muscle? You've probably actually gained muscle because you're still doing the same weight of weight, even though your leverage has dropped, right?
Yeah.
So in my head, I thought, well, if I'm still the same strength, I could even push the diet even further, but I'd run out of steam. So for the other exercise, I didn't care what weight I was using. I just try and go for a squeeze. I just try and edge more detail into the muscle, and rather than just feed the ego. So I had one end because that helped with my brain set. Because sometimes I think what a lot of people do is they feel that they're going to lose too much. The moment they get weak, they just think, oh, I've got to eat more food. No. If you're still strong, the first movement, but your strength suffers. That's okay because you're on lower calories. So you kind of drop the intensity for the last, let's say 3-4 exercises. Go for a bit of a burn, squeeze, and get out.
Okay. Cool.
But still, I think it's important to still stay strong.
Of course.
And that way you keep that fullness. But I always did a lot of red meat into a show.
Yeah.
I never did much chicken.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing chicken. Chicken's like the thing.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's a lot of cost, or are people thinking that there's a benefit to eating white meat over red meat?
I think if I had fish and chicken, I just got flat. Every time I had, the calories were more, but the red meat, there's creatine, there's all these other amino nutrients, and it just kept me so much fuller, and I could train harder for longer. So, but I think it also depends on, I'm of European descent. I respond very well to fats and protein. Plus, with someone of Asian descent, they'll probably respond better to lots of rice, less protein. So I think your background makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But you're just going to learn how to read your body, what works. But yeah, definitely going heavy all the way to the show. Probably not as heavy as what Ronnie Coleman would do. He would go to 2-3 laps and doubles, and I don't think that's a smart idea. You know what I mean? But
he wouldn't change it.
Huh?
He wouldn't change it.
Yeah. Well, maybe for
You
the
seen the
video.
video? Would you do anything differently? He's like, nope.
Yeah.
I do the same stuff, man.
Would you do anything differently if you were if you started day 1, hour 0? Would you do anything differently?
There's a lot of things I would do. I would have done a lot more mobility work, a lot more stretching. What made me a very good bench presser is because my shoulders were that tight. But looking back, it's the reason why I've got bad shoulders now. So it made me a very good bench presser, but now I've got bad shoulders.
Yeah, I see.
So it all comes at a price, yeah. So, but my legs have always been very flexible, but my shoulders have always been very tight. So it made me a very good bench presser, but then it killed my shoulders.
Yeah. So it's finding the trade-off of advantages
so-
now and problems later. Or
Yeah. So when I see people in the gym now, I tell them heaps of mobility work, lots of shoulder dislocations, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, lots of redelts. Funny enough, I used to do redelts only for contest prep because they used to grow so big. I thought, well, I don't need to do them. I'll just do them for the last 2 months. But I should have been doing them all year just for shoulder.
Yeah, such an
Health.
important muscle group for your
Yeah,
shoulder.
yeah.
Yep. Of course.
And
I guess that's the tricky part about bodybuilding too, right? Because if you've got a muscle that grows, out of proportion to other muscle groups, I'll get you to explain in a sec what kind of bodybuilding is judged on, but one of the things is symmetry. So, and proportions and stuff, right? So if one thing's growing too quickly or whatever, and you need to pull back, like I remember you saying, like your chest would grow way quicker than everything else.
correct.
So then if you can't actually find the balance of exercises in your program that allow your body to stay healthy and feel good, and you have to then prioritize more of the things that maybe don't make you feel as good, but it's better for your actual performance on stage. That's the trade-off. That's the tricky thing.
We've all got an ego, and I had one. I had a very big ego, so I didn't want to be seen on the bench with less than 2 plates. So I know that's just a weakness in there. But if I had have done a lot more, redelt work, mobility work, I would have done so much better at a pro level.
Yeah. Yeah. How just for the listeners out there, because even me, I don't fully understand it, but how does bodybuilding get judged? How does it work?
Well, you need to be for the guys. For the ladies, it's much harder because they've got to be very good looking.
Yep.
They have to have that sex appeal. Guys, we can be ugly. Doesn't matter. If you're lean and big, you're going to do pretty well. But again, you need a nice silhouette. It's got to flow. The federation I was in, which is NABA, we always came in a little bit grainier, a little bit leaner than our I4B competitors. So for me, I was always used to chase being the leanest guy on stage. And that's something that's something that came a little bit easier for me because I used to love suffering when I used to come to dieting because I I knew no one else could suffer as much as I could.
Wow.
So for me, I used to get off on that because the more I suffer, the more I was happier.
Yeah, you sicko.
Yeah, I did. I had that
You were a
stupid-
sicko.
I was.
That's the mindset that
Unreal.
it takes, though.
I know, 100%.
Yeah.
That's
It
why
is.
he got to where he was and where
It
he
is.
is.
So,
Yeah.
because I knew I was lucky in that I had a lot of thickness. So even if I lost a little bit of muscle, I was still thick enough, but I was leaner than everyone else. So I might not have had the best shape, but I was usually the heaviest in my class. I used to be in the short class, and I was just on the verge of being in the class above. So I was always the heaviest in my class. And even in the open, whereas competing as a pro, you're competing in the open with all the tall fellas at 97 or 100 kilos, I don't look out of place. In fact, I probably look more muscular, bigger than the guys that are 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
So for me, it didn't bother me. So I figured if I was leaner than all of them, then I wouldn't look out of place. So I used to chase condition.
Yeah.
A couple of times I tried to chase being the biggest guy, and that all I'd get was stomach distension, too much food. I'd become blocky. So for me, I thought, nah, that being over 100 kilos didn't suit me. So at about 93 to 95 was my best look.
Yeah.
And that made dieting a little bit easier because I didn't have to force food in, and it made dieting just a little bit easier. Because I didn't mind being hungry.
How lean are we talking?
My leanest skin folds on a DEXA was 2.4. That was at RMIT. By caliper, I was 1.9 about 3 weeks out, and I think I was 96, but then I came down to about 93. So anything under 1.8, it's an NA. So my last skin fold before I left, about 5 days out, was said NA. So we couldn't register.
It just doesn't know where the fat is. Can't
Yeah.
find it.
Off the charts.
Yeah, literally below the charts.
Yeah, there's a reason I did that. For years, people tried to chase those figures, and it wasn't about being leaner than everyone else. What it took was, for me, my legs couldn't get as lean as my upper body. I realized that my upper body got lean very fast, and at about, when I started doing skin folds on a regular basis from year to year, I realized that from 5.5, 5.6% body fat and lower, that's when my lower body started coming in faster. So my upper body would come in 34 weeks. I was always down to 5% with my upper body. My legs were always, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks behind. So I made it a rule then that for me to get my lower legs to about the 3% mark, I'd have to hit my target at about 8 weeks out. And then I had 8 weeks for my legs to get lean. So I'd get, let's say, I remember one prep I did in 2011 Mr. Universe. I started dieting at about 4.4%.
Gosh.
That's when I started dieting. And that was about 8 weeks out.
Yeah, well.
And I had a week of eating, and then I had 7 weeks to get my legs to 2 mil skin folds everywhere. But I realized then that for me to get my legs lean, I had to get well into the threes or low threes and under, so my legs would have more separation. So I think, and that's a genetic thing, because if my legs weren't as lean, I'd look smooth on stage. So it really depends on the person. Not everyone should get that lean, but you have to get to a certain level of body fat that suits you best. So for me, I look my best at 3%. Doesn't mean that you might have to get to 3.3. You could probably look just as good at 5.
Yeah.
Because the moment you get to, let's say, from 5 to 3, you're losing muscle, yeah? So let's say I was 5% or 4.4% from 103, 104. At 93, I was, let's say, 2.4. It's a lot. It's a big drop, yeah?
Yeah, huge.
Muscle as well.
Yeah, muscle.
Yeah, a lot of muscle, lots of fullness. But again, I didn't look small at 92. Does it mean someone else needs to do that? No, I did it because I didn't have natural separation through my quads. So for me to have that skinless look on my legs, I had to suffer and drop a bit of fullness from my upper body.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So that's going to be genetic for everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah. I got the Greek belts on the lower handles and lower stomach. But obviously, you spend your lifetime bodybuilding, passionate about bodybuilding or competing bodybuilding, and now you're a gym owner, as a gym owner from the last 3-4 years?
4 years, 5 years.
4 years. What has your lifetime in bodybuilding done for you as a gym? And, I guess we should say it's Athleticon in Moorabbin on Cochrane's Road.
Yep.
What is your lifetime of experience been able to do for your gyms?
When because I've done so many shows in so many different countries. Every time I used to train, well, when I was training locally for shows here, you know, I'd be training at 1 or 2 or 3, even 3 gyms, because you'd go to one gym and you'd have, let's say, great little equipment. You'd go to another gym and have good chest pieces. Another gym would have good back pieces. And I thought, when I open up another gym, because I used to have a gym in the 90s, and I thought, this time, if I open up another gym, it's got to have everything that I'd want to compete again, rather than chasing 3-4 gyms. You know what I mean? And so every time I used to compete overseas, you know, you'd see a machine that you haven't used before. I thought, I'm going to train. I'm going to try this machine, and I'd always make notes. Okay, this is my favorite machine. For back, this is great. So I thought, once I open up another gym, I thought, I'm going to chase all these pieces. And I think I've finally done that. It's taken years to find all these pieces. And just to make it a unique bodybuilding gym, similar to what you've done here too, just chasing pieces that really only elite athletes can really appreciate. The average Joe Blow doesn't really appreciate how good these pieces are, but elite athletes know. I've had so many elite athletes come into the gym, and the moment they see one machine, they'll just sign up. Even if they haven't seen the rest of the gym, they'll see one piece and they go, I'm joining. Do you want me to show you around the rest of the gym? No, that's fine. You got this piece, I'm joining.
An elite athlete is in a bodybuilder usually?
What's that?
As in an elite bodybuilder?
Well, even people have been training for years, but they have an association. They've used one piece and it just resonates with them, and then they're just drawn to it, because they did so well on that machine. But I think the problem with that I've realised over the years when you've trained at so many gyms is that you'll have most commercial gyms will have one brand, and with every brand there'll be 1 or 2 good pieces, and the rest is just rubbish. Yeah. It might suit someone who's shorter or someone who's taller, and I thought if I do this, it's going to be a little bit more costly, but I'm going to chase all my favourite pieces that appeal to everyone, and having a lot of variety. So you try and cater for the big ladies, for the smaller girls, for the really heavy guys. So trying to cater for everyone, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
And I think that was always my attitude, and just like you're doing the same, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you reckon the number 1 favourite piece from your members would be? Or the top 2 or 3?
I would say probably the Nautilus pullover would be one of them.
Yeah.
The swing squat.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
Because it's the only one in Australia. The original swing squat is the only one in Australia. I know Max Pump have got a copycat version, but it's not the same. What else would there be? My flex row.
Yeah. That's the one from Perth, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one from Perth, yeah.
I found you that one.
Yeah. That was unused. That was brilliant. That was perfect. Sitting in the garage for 20 years, the guy had never used it.
Yeah,
I don't think some people know what they're actually sitting on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I thought, he sent it to him, I thought, I'm getting it. I said, what do you want for it? Oh, I'll just give this much. He said, you sure? Done.
You know what I said to the guy? I said to the guy, I'm like, I just want you to know there's a 99.9% chance that this is sold. Let me speak to a friend of mine and I'll get back to you. And you're like, yeah, done.
Wow.
It's funny because I remember my very first championships was 1998. And I remember being in a gym in Athens after I did the World Championships. I'd gone to a gym and it was one of my very first back machines that I'd used. I said, fuck, this is amazing. I said, one day I'm going to get this exact same piece. And then when you sent it to me, I said, I'm buying that because I've been chasing it for 20 years.
Yeah. That's the flex leverage row.
Yeah,
right?
flex
and
leverage.
it was mint. Like the paint on it is like OEM grey, perfect.
Yeah, the foot padding.
Plates were,
not unused.
Yeah.
So
crazy fun.
I did get that refurbished, so it's all black now, so it matches the rest of the gym.
Oh, don't do that. Leave it original, man.
No.
Oh.
I've done everything now.
There's so
Everything's black
you
in
need
there
to
now.
get the stickers remade then and everything.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, I did that.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Was the reverse hyper, was that made for people with busted backs?
Yes.
Because okay.
Yeah.
So someone brought that out. Someone brought that out specifically for people with like herniated discs.
Yeah, Louis Simmons. So I bought the very first one. He made two versions of it. One was the home version. The other was the commercial. So I think I paid $900 for the very first home version.
Mm-hmm.
And when I called him up about it, he said, "Yes, we've heard about your deadlift. Yes, all brawl, no technique." So I said, "Yeah, that's probably me."
Gosh.
I said I need it. I think I paid $900 US for it.
Yep.
And sadly, I sold it. I shouldn't have sold
I was
it.
just about to say, do you still have it?
I sold it because I was building a house. So I had nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
And I regret it because they don't make them anymore. Not like that.
Yeah.
We'll find one. We'll get one over.
Yeah, and but that was a very good piece. That saved me from doing a $45,000 back operation.
Fuck.
And back then there wasn't many options, so you would have to fuse your discs. And after speaking to Sammy Anitas, I thought, there's no way I'm going to do that because he's limited with what he could do training wise.
It's a slippery slope as well, man.
Yeah, so
Slippery
because then once you
slope,
fuse one disc, the rest start
Yeah.
collapsing. So I thought, no, I don't want to do that. So I did that. That took me about a good year, just doing it every day,
Yeah,
of varying intensity, lots of reps, just trying to flush blood into the lower back, and it came good. So so that saved me from having to do a back operation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember years later, I didn't tell Andrew Locke. I said, I want to start deadlifting again, but I've had an issue with my lower back. So I get an MRI, and I didn't tell him what I'd done to my back. And he'd seen the MRI, and he goes, "What the hell did you do to your back?" I thought, that's one way to test someone how good they are, yeah?
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I fucked it when I did this." And he goes, "Man, you must have done some serious damage, but it looks like it's healed." I go, "So I can't start deadlifting again?" He goes, "Yeah, it looks pretty good." Yeah. And that was 2015, so I started deadlifting. And I thought it's making me blocky again. I said, I don't need this. That's why I was preparing for the World Championships. I always loved it because it was a good ego lift. When you're doing 280, 290 by 5x5s.
Conventional.
Huh? Conventional. And that was only 5 weeks of training,
Wow.
And I thought, yeah, maybe I should just drop it.
Was 364.5 your heaviest deadlift ever?
Yeah.
Straps?
No.
Belt?
Belt, yes. Yeah, no suit though.
No shit.
Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah, raw.
Yeah, raw.
That's hectic, man.
I knew the answers to those questions.
Yeah.
When you win Mr. World, what happens? You get a medal, they give you a handshake, do you get a contract, do you do a tour, what happens?
They offer you a pro card on the spot.
Yep.
And for years, look, in the 90s, we didn't really want a pro card because I thought, that's not the life I want to live. But you know what, I thought after about 20, 30 years of training, I thought, you know what, it'd be nice to take something away. And when it was offered to him, I said, you know what, fuck it, I'll say yes. So once they've awarded you the trophy, they ask you if do you want your pro card? I said, yep, why not? And
What does that mean, get your pro card?
well, you get a card. It says pro. That you pay for every year.
Yeah.
€100 you pay for that every year.
But you're able to, that's going to help you leverage your business and show people what you can do as well.
I just did it for fun. It was just an achievement.
Yeah.
It was more about something to show with all those 50 shows that I've done over
which
the
is
years.
fair enough, man. I think it's
And,
after all that work.
Does the pro card unlock doors for you?
No, I just
Will Mr. World be like, cool, you've won this, we're going to go take you on a press tour here, we're going to do that, or
it could have, but
where does it go?
It didn't really bother me really. All I wanted to do was I just did it because it was just a sense of achievement. I wanted to be in the same books that Arnold was, Lou Ferrigno and Sergio Oliver. To have one of Mr. World is just an honour.
It is.
And is there money? No. I mean, I did my very first pro show. I won a few thousand euros.
Wow.
But you don't do it for the money. You just do it for the love.
It costs you more than what you win.
Of course.
Yeah, it does. But
It's all your time.
and
The rest.
but remember,
Your life.
remember, Olympic athletes were no different 20 years ago. They spent a lifetime training for the Olympics, and they got nothing in return. But you do it for the love, you know. So it's just a sense of achievement, and it's funny because I thought it's funny because when I first started training, I used to pick up bodybuilding magazines, and then you think, you know, imagine what it'd be like to be in here, and then 20 years later, you're in it. You know what I mean?
Wow. Have you got a copy at home?
No, I don't. My dad's thrown them all out.
No.
He didn't get what it was all
We
about.
got to find something.
Yeah, there should be I should be able to find. I should be able to talk to Vance Ange and see if we can find a few old copies.
There got to be some photos online as well.
It was 2015? You said, yeah.
Yeah,
Leave me with it. See if we
and
can find you some.
but it's just a sense of achievement, especially when you spend 20 years trying to win it.
Yeah.
It's hard earned. Hard earned.
7 attempts, and
Lucky number 7.
Yeah,
What did it feel like?
but it's a tough lineup. Unlike the pro shows that we have here, the pro qualifiers that we have here, you might get 3, 4, maybe 5 people in the lineup. You know, I remember that year. I think I had 33 or 36 competitors. I think 4 were just from Brazil, and 3 of them I think had won it previously. So it's a big ask, and they all look good. You look at me and think, oh, how am I going to beat him?
Did the feeling of winning hit
It's
the
a real-
expectations you had? Like when you've imagined it for the first time versus when you actually won Mr. World. Like what was the feeling like versus what your expectation?
Well, I
of
didn't
it?
think I was going to win it because the guy in front of me looked so bloody good, and I thought I came off the prejudging, and everyone was going to me, "It's yours, Jim. It's yours." I said, "I don't know. He looks so good." They go, "Trust me, you're killing him." They've seen, and then when I look back over it, I remember the judges stopped scoring and they were just taking photos.
Wow.
So they dropped their pens and everyone was taking photos. I thought, shit, I must be looking pretty good.
Wow.
So I thought, I think I'm in with a chance. And but it was so I thought, but I think you got to believe it first, And no, I think that's the most important thing. I think most of the people up there that think they're going to win it are probably already won it in their heads. I think you have to have that attitude.
You got to believe it.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
unreal. It's unreal.
Wow.
Jim, you're a living legend. We're cracking on to the hour. So we'll wrap it up here.
Yep. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks for your time, but we need you to plug Athleticon. Where can people find you online? How can they find your gym?
Yep. It's Athleticon Health and Fitness. We're located in Moorabbin, 110 to 118 Cochrans Road. And
Got Instagram?
yes, do have Instagram and a website. And come in for a trial workout and have a look and be part of the culture.
Do they call ahead? Do they just rock up to the door?
Just right up to the door.
When can they come?
When it's man hours. Man hours are usually from 9:30 a.m. till about 8 p.m.
On weekdays?
Weekdays, yeah. Weekends, 9:30 till about 5:30.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hustler.
Unreal.
Hustler. And your personal social media, if you want that out there as well, where can people find you?
Big Jim,
Yep.
Big J Kotantonis.
Yep.
So they can always have me that on there.
Unreal. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank
As
you
I said,
so much for having me here.
you're a living legend. Your story is
It's unreal.
unreal.
Inspiring.
Yeah, it's good.
Inspiring. I want to go lift now. I want to go lift heavy shit. I want to go blow my knee out.
And I personally very, very much appreciate our relationship that we have.
we've got a good one.
You know, going around finding machines, driving here to pick them up, and doing all that sort of
He's
stuff.
helped me find a few machines and a lot of lifting.
Went
Okay.
to Sydney.
Yeah, went
all
to Sydney.
kinds of stuff. I appreciate that relationship
And
very much, man.
it's good, isn't it? Just to try things, get a different perspective from each other.
Brothers in iron, mate.
Oh, we're just trying to help each other. You know, it's like it's about having helping each other. Compared to the commercial gyms, we're smaller, so if we help each other out, it's a good thing.
It's father and son. You know, we call you his
yeah,
dad.
It's unreal. It's been a
He's doing
pleasure.
well. He's doing really well.
On my door, there's a sticky note in my office. It says Jim K's son.
Yeah, on his door. On
Is
his
it
door.
really? That's
We
cool.
Show him.
both love machines
It's
like there's
been there
something
for
wrong with
months.
us. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
do you
I got
love it?
this
That's
new
why-
Nautilus piece.
Yeah, I know. He said, no, Jim, you've got to get this. You've got to get this. Have you thought about doing this? I thought, okay, yeah, I like it. Oh, that's clever.
We got a couple.
Not a bad brain.
We got a couple of things on the horizon which we'll keep secret for now, but we're working together on something.
Let's hope they come in. They're be exciting.
they
Game
will,
changers
they
for our
will,
both
they
gyms.
Will. They will be one of a handful or less that
Yeah.
have them here in Australia. But anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Thanks for the years and the relationship.
Yeah,
and,
anytime. Been fun.
We'll have you back.
Get back
Yes.
on stage.
Yeah.
Nice. If this gets healthy,
Yeah, it's going to
then
get there.
it'd be nice to be back on stage.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you, viewers. Thank you, listeners. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers,
Beautiful.
guys.
Cheers. Thank you.